Okay, so around 7 weeks ago, I made my WrestleMania 36 dream match card predictions, which, in hindsight, I'm not happy with that video at all. Like, I watch it back and think, this is crap. I'm just not happy with it. So, here today, I'm going to redo that WrestleMania dream match card. And realistically, the card I've got in front of me right now that I'm going to present to you guys in this video, so much better. Literally, hear all this video out. The card I've got listed down here, oh my god. Compared to the one I did nearly 2 months ago, this one just craps all over it. Pretty much, I'm going to get right into it. Basically, kickoff show, I'm going to begin right away. The retirement slash deactivation, burning, whatever you want to call it, of the 24/7 championship. Okay? This is just something I've thrown in here, but it needs to be done. Get the 24/7 title out of the WWE forever. It has no place. It's corny. It's cringe. So I thought WrestleMania would be the perfect place to deactivate it. Anyway, more seriously now, we'll go to the first match. I'm going to go with the men's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, or you can do the women's. It doesn't really matter. Basically, the men's and the women's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royals, throw them on the kickoff because no one cares. The winner, they really get nothing. Their career goes nowhere. Nothing really comes to these Battle Royals. Like, realistically, in these Battle Royals, I'd have, Baron Corbin, Robert Roode, Ziggler, Shorty G, Mustafa Ali, everyone I haven't booked on this card, just throw them into this Battle Royal. So, realistically, that's what I do there. Whoever wins it, it doesn't really matter. For men or women, I mean, no one cares who wins these Battle Royals. They're meaningless. They just are. So, that's the Battle Royals. From here, I do the singles match for the Intercontinental Championship, Braun Strowman versus Sheamus. I have Sheamus win the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania on the kickoff show. I don't feel like that warrants WrestleMania because realistically, you look at where the Intercontinental Championship's been in the last 7 months. Sitting around Shinsuke Nakamura's waist as he's defended the title on TV or slash pay-per-view 3 times against Mustafa Ali, The Miz, and Strowman. Yeah, great reign from Nakamura. That reign killed a title which was already dead in the water. So, yeah, the Intercontinental Championship means nothing. So, because of that, it doesn't warrant WrestleMania. Okay, I'm not going to give a WrestleMania main card spot to this Intercontinental Championship match. So, I'd have Sheamus go over Braun Strowman. So, we have new Intercontinental Champion on the kickoff show. Oh, and then also, the SmackDown Women's Championship I'd have defended here. Bayley defending against Sasha Banks. This is the obvious route to go. After the Elimination Chamber, have the turn happen. You can have Bayley and Sasha build a little feud going to Mania. So, there, I have Sasha Banks win the SmackDown Women's Championship. Pretty self-explanatory, really. I mean, Sasha Banks, she needs a good title reign. Like, give her the SmackDown Women's title and let her hold it for months. She's never had that one great long reign. She's like had the hot potato thing with Charlotte Flair in 2016 with the Raw Women's Championship. That's not good enough. Again, give Sasha Banks the SmackDown Women's Championship on the kickoff show and have her hold it for a long time. So, that's the kickoff show. I think it's about all it needs to be. That'll be about 2 hours. You get Sasha Banks winning a title. You get Sheamus winning the Intercontinental title. So there's notable stuff there. The Battle Royals, whoever you want to have them win. And then have the 24/7 title deactivated forever. So that's the kickoff show. We move on to the main card. I'd open with the Fatal 4-Way match for the United States Championship. Andrade with Selena Vega defending against Rey Mysterio, Angel Garza, and Humberto Carrillo. This a fatal 4-way for the US title. If you want to make it a ladder match, feel free. I'm just keeping it as a regular fatal 4-way match so you can show off the wrestling ability, because if it's a ladder match, it just becomes high spots, ladder spots, chaos. I feel like a regular match with these guys would tell the story a lot better, because this has really been building on Raw these last 2 months. From the stuff with Andrade and Rey Mysterio, their matches in December and January, to you get to the stuff with Andrade and Humberto Carrillo, where they've had a couple of matches and the kickoff shows, the TLC and the Royal Rumble, really been building that up. So, Andrade and Humberto Carrillo have their thing going. You got Angel Garza introduced to TV now. He's getting some wins. He beat Cedric Alexander in this past week's episode of Raw. Angel Garza had the match with Rey Mysterio the week before that. So, Angel Garza is now on TV. I feel like you could really just intertwine all this into an amazing Fatal 4-Way match at WrestleMania. This, if you want to do something like having Rey Mysterio retire and then afterwards hand the mask to Dominic to open the show, and Dominic puts the mask on and assumes the Mysterio name in WWE, that would be flawless. I think if this match, Andrade, Mysterio, Garza, and Carrillo gets 15 minutes, it's going to just steal the show at the opening point of WrestleMania. It's going to be an incredible match. in my initial video, I had a fatal 5-way US title match, but the guys in it were so random and didn't make sense. Here, the guys make sense, the booking makes sense, the build makes sense, so I feel like this is the avenue to go. The fatal 4-way, Andrade, Ray, Garza, and Carrillo. That match would be awesome. So yeah, I'd have whoever you want to win. I'd have Angel Garza win the US title at WrestleMania. That's what I'd have, because I think Garza, having that to open the show, would just propel him. Like, he's on a path where he could genuinely go down as this generation's Eddie Guerrero, which I think is a massive honor, because Eddie was amazing at what he did. So I think Angel Garza winning the title here is the way to go. So yeah, you have 3 title changes already, and this is literally an hour into the main card, and kickoff show considered. So I think that's the route to go. Angel Garza wins, that's a big celebration, and then afterwards you get Rey Mysterio handing the mask to Dominic. So plenty's going down at WrestleMania. Already a bunch of WrestleMania moments in this first match alone. Assuming it's a great match, the Dominic and Rey stuff, and then the US title changing hands to Angel Garza. So that's what I go with there. From here, the triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley defending as Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. Now, this one, the company's building towards Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. That's probably what's going to happen, but I want Bianca Belair in there, because realistically, getting her on the show, it's a big opportunity for her. She's right in the mix of this, because she's facing Rhea Ripley this Sunday, TakeOver Portland. Like, that match, personally, I'd have Rhea Ripley go over in some kind of dodgy circumstances and drag Bianca Belair into this. I full well know that in real life they're going to do Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair, but having a triple threat I think would be better, because Ripley against Flair, it just feels super forced. It feels like, look, Rhea Ripley, we're pushing her, but Charlotte has no one else to face, because we're not doing Charlotte Becky, and we're not doing Charlotte Bayley, so we're putting you against Rhea, and that's the match you're getting. That's what it feels like. Now, getting Bianca Belair in here would make the match more exciting. The styles, all 3 of these women, they're powerhouse women. They're these women who could beat up probably half of the men on the roster, I'd say. So having these 3 all in a match would be sick. It really, it would add to the visual of it. The story's there. They did the thing on NXT where Rhea Ripley and Belair got Charlotte Flair in an electric chair. The rhyming, wow. Belair, Flair, Ripley chair. Anyway, apparently they dumped it to the mat, so that was sick. That's sets in stone, this kind of thing. Like, you can play off the triple threat. I don't feel like this just has to be Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. As for a winner, I haven't written down who I'd have win, because, I don't know, I wouldn't have Charlotte win. I think if you have Charlotte win, that's redundant. What's Charlotte going to do with the NXT Women's Championship? That makes no sense. If you have Belair win, you could do that. Personally, I'd have Rhea go over. I think you have Rhea go over, and then she feuds with Dakota Kai, and you move Belair up to the main roster. That's what I do, but, that's just me. So, that's the second match of the night. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair. This, powerhouse triple threat match. Bunch of fun. 10 to 12 minutes. Doesn't need to go any more. This doesn't need to go 20 at all. So, that's the match I do there. From here, this one is pretty cool, pretty different. I think I'm really big fan of this, this kind of concept. So, 8-man tag team match. Seth Rollins and his disciples. So, Murphy, Buddy Murphy, whatever, and the AOP, Akam Razor, taking on the team of, wait for this, Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe. Now I know you're thinking, oh, well, boring, we've seen this match over and over on Raw. Wait, this combination of guys would not feel exhausting at all. So Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Sting, and the Velveteen Dream. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. What the hell, Sting and the Velveteen Dream? What do you want about? That makes no sense. Dislike. Look, wait, hold up, let me explain. Basically, Sting, he has a heap of history with Seth Rollins. You go back to 2015, and Sting, essentially, you can play it off that Sting had his career ended by Seth Rollins. Rollins buckle bombed Sting neck first in the turnbuckle, and Sting nearly was paralyzed. Okay? So you can play off that. And also, if you bring Sting back, it's an 8-man tag. He can do what DDP did on the AEW Dynamite show a month ago, where he literally stands on the apron all match, comes in, hits a couple of signatures and finishes, gets a big pop, and that's a WrestleMania moment. You don't need to overexpose Sting like you would if you had Sting take on The Undertaker one-on-one, okay? So getting Sting on the card here, this would be a great farewell for him. This is a last match, because the last memory we have of Sting is him collapsing on a turnbuckle and losing to Rollins at Night of Champions 2015. So Sting makes sense. Velveteen Dream, this one, yeah, it could be a little bit of a stretch, but I think with the Velveteen Dream on NXT, what does he have to do? Okay, he just returned. He's in this little mini program with Roderick Strong. That'll be blown off in the next couple of weeks. I think they're having a match next week on NXT TV between Dream and Strong. So Velveteen Dream, he'll blow off that program. Are you really going to have Velveteen Dream challenge the NXT title? Are you really going to do that? Velveteen Dream against Adam Cole? We don't need to see that. I think Velveteen Dream, he's got the charisma, the personality. He's ready to go up to the main roster. He's ready to go and take on Raw and SmackDown. Hopefully they don't ruin him, but I know they will. I just think Velveteen Dream, him and this team, he can, I don't really know how the story fits. I think what you could do is you have, Rollins, Murphy, AOP, take out the Viking Raiders, take out Mysterio, take out anyone who could be an ally for Sting, Joe, and Owens, and then emerges the Velveteen Dream. You see Rollins, Murphy, AOP pummeling Joe and Owens. This could be the Raw after Elimination Chamber, and then Velveteen Dream's music hits, or the lights go out, everything goes purple, and you see Velveteen Dream just standing on the turnbuckle doing his his signature pose. Then he dives in all of them, something like that. I think that'd be super sick. You also get Velveteen Dream at WrestleMania, because if it's not for this, how are you going to fit Velveteen Dream at WrestleMania? I couldn't find a spot for him otherwise, so I think this is the avenue to go. So that's why I go with there. From here, so moving on, past that match, I'd have Sting, Owens, Joe, and Velveteen Dream win. Velveteen Dream wins his WrestleMania debut. Sting gets his farewell, so you can have Sting as his WrestleMania moment, his final of a match. That's all good. Owens and Joe get a WrestleMania win. For Rollins, Murphy, and AOP, they can cop a loss here. It doesn't really matter, so that's what I'll go with there. From here, I've got 6 matches remaining to go through. I don't really know the order for these, because they're all pretty marquee in their own right. From here, I guess I'll go Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. This match, now, look, I know WWE more than likely will have Roman Reigns take on Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, and for the Universal Championship in the main event, Reigns will win after 10 spears clean, so Reigns will win the title. But no one wants to see that. That's not good for business. That's not good for anyone. So what I think you should do, and what would make more sense, is you have Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. This one, storylines there. You could play off the fact that, you can really make this real life, and the fact that Daniel Bryan was held off TV so that Roman Reigns wouldn't have his reaction tarnished, even though his reaction itself was bad because the booking. But if you had Daniel Bryan on TV from 2015 through 2019, Roman Reigns would have got nowhere near the reaction he did. And by on TV, I don't mean as him as the GM, I mean him as an active competitor. If you let Bryan wrestle all those years, granted, he'd probably be dead by now, but if you did, the reaction Roman Reigns would get would be even worse than it was. And Reigns' reaction was hardly good to begin with. Literally, Daniel Bryan would have just overshadowed Reigns to a point where it would have been ridiculous. So, Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns, have that be the story. Have Roman Reigns saying that Daniel Bryan was, is never as good as he was, and the fact that Daniel Bryan couldn't lace his boots, and, Reigns, almost make Reigns a heel, so to speak. Not full heel, but have Bryan just be kind of the underdog in the storyline, have Reigns be the big dog. You can play that off pretty well. So yeah, Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns. This match, who you have win, this is one where the fans will demand Daniel Bryan wins. Will he though? I don't know. Take your pick who wins this match. I don't think it really matters, to be honest. Reigns and Bryan. The match will be really good. The match I had at Fastlane 2015 to decide who faces Brock at Mania. That was sick. So, I think this should be really good. Reigns and Bryan here. I think that's a perfect spot. Because otherwise, what's Daniel Bryan going to do? And, Roman Reigns, I don't want him facing The Fiend. I don't think anyone does. So, that's what we're going with there. From here, moving on to the show. Randy Orton versus Edge. This one makes sense. It's pretty much booked already. Set in stone. The concerto, the stuff on the Raw after the Rumble, wrote Edge off TV. Randy Orton's playing this menacing, demonic almost heel character. Really doing that stuff, the dastardly stuff with the concertos and, all this stuff. I think, how you have Randy Orton take on Christian at the Elimination Chamber, that'd be sick. If Christian can medically work that match, that'd be awesome. Randy Orton, Christian. And then you can have Edge make his return after that match. And then you can have Randy Orton doing stuff with Beth Phoenix on TV. Randy Orton and Edge writes itself. That match, you'd have Edge go over, surely. If you want to make the WrestleMania moment as good as possible, you have Edge get the win. Because why'd you have Randy Orton go over Edge? That wouldn't make any sense. This is Edge's, return singles match. So having him beat Randy Orton, the match would go probably 12 to 14 minutes. Be more of a spectacle. Spears, RKOs, all these moves. Tease concerto. You might make a no DQ, so you can do concerto teases and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's the match to go with. Randy Orton versus Edge. They pretty much booked it already, so no real surprises there. From here we move on. This match is one that, personally, look, it's not too dissimilar to the one I had on the initial WrestleMania booking, but, I mean, it incorporates Aleister Black, who I think is amazing, and this time it incorporates The Undertaker instead of The Fiend. Basically, everything I said in that last video applies here. Undertaker versus Aleister Black. This match, I think, realistically, you want to have Undertaker at WrestleMania, and I know the company wants to do Undertaker AJ Styles, but I don't see a point to that. Where's the issue between Styles and Undertaker? And look, I know they can shoot an angle, but where's the reason to care? Where's the natural kind of tension? Like, for example, Undertaker and Cena, it's just a dream matchup. Undertaker Styles, on the other hand, is just a weird match to do. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You haven't booked Styles in this WrestleMania. What are you doing? Honestly, I don't have a spot for Styles. Yeah, I know. I don't have a spot for AJ Styles. But he can win the Battle Royal. I don't know. Might as well. Let him get another accolade under his belt. But Styles at the moment, I mean, the OC, Styles, they're just floundering. If Styles is back from injury in time, have him win the Battle Royal. Because I don't really have a spot for him at this WrestleMania. But anyway, as for Aleister Black versus The Undertaker, I think this, as I said in that video with Aleister Black and The Fiend, have it just be all about the spectacle. Aleister Black's entrance at WrestleMania, The Undertaker's entrance at WrestleMania. You can do the storyline that Aleister Black's, picking a fight with The Undertaker, and that this is his biggest challenge ever, and can Aleister Black rise to the occasion at WrestleMania and beat The Undertaker? Now here, honestly, I mean, this you could think this is controversial, but at this point, I don't care. I'd have Undertaker lose to Aleister Black, because why would Undertaker beat Aleister Black? Undertaker is literally 55. Okay, having Aleister Black beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania would be special, it would be cool, it would feel legit. Like, granted, the streak isn't there anymore, so it's not like that big of a deal. It's not like when Brock beat Undertaker at 30 and was like this massive, oh my god, biggest shock moment in wrestling history. Because, look, Undertaker, he lost to WrestleMania to Brock, and then he lost to WrestleMania. He lost to WrestleMania. Great one. He lost at WrestleMania to Roman Reigns at 33, which that 33 match we'll just forget that happened. So I think having Undertaker go down to Aleister Black here after a 20-minute hard-fought match, Undertaker, he could put in his last WrestleMania performance here, because I know I've said this, or people have said this every year for like 6 years now, but where to from there for The Undertaker? Like, you can do The Undertaker's last ride, so to speak, like a farewell tour at Survivor Series, and that can be absolutely it for The Undertaker. Have his 30-year farewell at Survivor Series, and that's it. Because we don't need to see more of The Undertaker. He's been there, done that. We've done 30 years of the dead man. Like, we can move on. So, Undertaker, Aleister Black's what I'd book there. From here, 3 matches to go. I don't know what order I do these matches in. And to be honest, 2 of them are already announced, so it's not like I'm going to reveal anything shocking. One of them is the Fiend's match as well, so moving on. Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler, Raw Women's Championship. This one, they did the vampire angle with Shayna Baszler on Raw. I think it makes sense. I don't really feel the need to talk about this one too much, because I talked about it in the last WrestleMania booking video. If you've seen that, perhaps the same thing to say about this. It writes itself. The Becky Lynch, Shayna Baszler stuff at Survivor Series. Now the stuff with the vampire angle, where Becky Lynch is, the man fighting out of the ambulance to come back at Shayna Baszler. Like, they really tried to recreate that Becky Lynch with the broken nose thing on Raw, with the vampire thing, where Becky emerged out of the medical facility, but it doesn't feel the same. It feels forced. As fans, we know it's organic. That didn't feel organic. The build for this, I hope it's good. Hope they make me care. Hopefully they get Ronda Rousey involved somehow. I don't care if Ronda's not at WrestleMania. I just want to see Ronda involved in this, because she's such a big part of the story. Ronda's Shayna Baszler's best friend. Ronda's such a pivotal part of Becky's career. Like, if Ronda's not involved in this somehow, it'll be disappointing. So yeah, Becky Lynch, Shayna Baszler. And the obvious option here is Shayna Baszler wins the Raw Women's Championship. I think you'd be dumb to have Becky retain. Why would Becky retain? Like, give Shayna Baszler the title. Have, going forward, a new sense of direction on Raw. Especially, like, if you go through all these title changes I've already said, like, On Raw and SmackDown, Sasha Banks would be the new SmackDown Women's Champion, Sheamus would be the new Intercontinental Champion, Angel Garza would be the new United States Champion, we'd have, well, the NXT Women's Championships would still be on Rhea Ripley, and then you'd have Shayna Baszler be the Raw Women's Champion, so that for title changes is already good enough. Shayna Baszler beating Becky Lynch in a really good match at WrestleMania, I think that's the avenue to go. Where you book that, I don't know where it goes on the card, but the match is definitely happening, so that's all good. From here, I don't know which one I should read off first. I'm just going to go with it. Basically, the match that I think probably should main event, or could main event, I don't know. Whichever match you want to have main event, it's the two world titles, the Universal title, the WWE Championship. I'll start talking about the Universal title first. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, defending his Universal Championship against John Cena. This one, personally, it just makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? 6 years ago at WrestleMania 30, Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt family, they took on John Cena. It was all about legacy. The Wyatt family would, seeing whether Cena's legacy would break. Bray Wyatt was trying to bring down everything Cena stood for. It was a good, simple storyline, and Cena won the match. Now, ever since then, the Bray Wyatt character was never the same. Bray Wyatt, people call it a burial. Like, that's the whole feud with Cena and Wyatt in 2014. 2014 was really, in my opinion, the last year of Super Cena. That was the year where Cena, he lost, the first two pay-per-views of the year, then won the Wyatt feud, and then he won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, then he got murdered by Brock, and then he challenged Brock for like 4 months, and he was fighting against Rollins, Kane, Orton, those guys in the Authority for like 5 months, and then he lost to Brock in the triple threat match with Rollins at the Royal Rumble, and then ever since he went to the US title with Rusev, and then he was pretty much swiftly on his way out of the Super Cena phase. But anyway, Super Cena against Bray Wyatt, it writes itself. I think it's pretty obvious who wins this. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, goes over John Cena, because realistically, Cena, he's said himself, he doesn't want or feel the need to win title number 17. Personally, I wouldn't care if Cena wins title 17, because he's John Cena. He's better than everyone they have on the current roster. I wouldn't care if he won. Okay? Stuff younger talents at this point. The company doesn't care. The company's not making any young talent, so having Cena win the 17th world title, I wouldn't mind. But realistically, you'd have Bray Wyatt go over here. Bray Wyatt retaining against John Cena. I think that's the avenue to go. The build for this, Cena on the February 28th episode of SmackDown can just demand he fights The Fiend. Or you can have Cena enter the Elimination Chamber. I think that'd be cool. Have Cena win the Chamber match. Cena fights The Fiend. I think that'd be a great way to do the Chamber if you have Roman Reigns, John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Shinsuke, Braun Strowman, and then, I don't know, Sheamus in the Chamber. So Sheamus and Braun cancel each other out to build to WrestleMania. Bryan and Reigns cancel each other out. And then you end up just with John Cena winning the Chamber match. So Cena takes on The Fiend. They build up that, The Fiend was scarred, and Bray Wyatt was scarred by the fact that he couldn't beat Cena at 30, and that led to a downward spiral for Bray Wyatt. Now Bray Wyatt and The Fiend is out to avenge that. So WrestleMania, Cena will fight for everything to take down The Fiend and stop this hatred, this cancer in the company. Like, you can build it like that. It writes itself. It's pretty simple. So yeah, The Fiend against John Cena. This, I think, would be a great WrestleMania match. Compared to Reigns versus The Fiend, where you had Reigns inevitably win. I think having Cena go in and put the Bray Wyatt over, perfect spot. Gives Cena a marquee WrestleMania spot, which is what he wants. It's a match I actually want to see. I really want to see Bray Wyatt against Cena. I actually really do. For the Universal Championship, I think that would be awesome. I don't want to see Reigns Cena, so, Fiend Cena, I think it'd be sick. In the end, you'd have The Fiend go over, so Fiend retains, and that's that. Now, whether you have that match main event, or you have the WWE Championship with Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre, personally, I'd have Brock and Drew McIntyre main event, purely because Brock, he's the face of the company. Brock Lesnar, every time he's in a segment, you want to watch, you want to see what Brock Lesnar's doing. So, Brock Lesnar, I'd have him main event the show, taking on Drew McIntyre. It'd be pretty much what the company wanted WrestleMania 31 and WrestleMania 34 to be with Roman Reigns, where it's Brock and Reigns, and the fans wanted that big, superhero for superhero feel. It would be that, only this time the crowd would actually care for the babyface they're trying to put over. Like, with Drew McIntyre's in there against Brock Lesnar, which he will be, the crowd will be fully behind Drew McIntyre. The crowd will probably cheer Brock a little bit because no one truly hates Brock. People like Brock, but they like McIntyre more, so I think it'd be super cool. Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar. Have this match be very similar to WrestleMania 21 with Batista and Triple H, where it's a pretty good match. I think get some blood involved, make it a real big fight. These two just heavyweights going at it. I think that, it more than warrants a WrestleMania main event. For the WWE Championship, these two just Goliaths going at it. Drew McIntyre, the pop when he wins this match will be absurd. Honestly, Drew McIntyre is WWE Champion to close WrestleMania 36. I think that's the visual you want. I think Drew McIntyre raising the title as 80,000 people are cheering his name, fireworks going off. That's a visual you want to end your WrestleMania. Much the way that Batista ended WrestleMania 21 that way, and Batista was forever made into a star from that moment. I think Drew McIntyre off this moment would be made. Now, granted, if you can make Drew McIntyre in the next Batista, that waits to be seen. You need to be very careful with your booking. But genuinely, I think that could be a possibility. If Drew McIntyre wins this main event of WrestleMania, beats Brock Lesnar, he would forever be a superstar in the company. He would legitimize him. That would be his biggest moment, and he's a legit guy. So it wouldn't just be like a Benoit or a Daniel Bryan thing where they kind of fizzle out in a way as main eventers. Drew McIntyre, he could be a perennial main eventer. You could do storylines with Drew McIntyre and Aleister Black, Drew McIntyre and Cena, McIntyre and Orton, McIntyre and Buddy Murphy, McIntyre and Rollins, like all these stories. I think that's the avenue you go out of WrestleMania 36, so that's the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. This video has been fun because really got to go back and rewrite this card, which I just wasn't happy with. That initial WrestleMania 36 card I did wasn't very good, whereas this one here, I think it's excellent. Like, just to fully recap, 24/7 title gets deactivated forever. Then we have Sasha Banks win the SmackDown Women's Championship from Bayley. The men's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. The women's Battle Royal. We have the Intercontinental Championship won by Sheamus against Braun Strowman. Then the main show, we have Rey Mysterio, Angel Garza, Carrillo, and Andrade in a fatal four-way match for the US title. Here, we have Angel Garza go over and win the title, and then Rey Mysterio takes off his mask and hands it to Dominic, and it's a big emotional moment, so plenty of emotion in that match. From here, the triple threat for the NXT Women's Championship, Rhea, Charlotte, and Bianca Belair, pretty self-explanatory. Then the 8-man tag, Rollins, Murphy, AOP against Kevin Owens, Joe, Sting, the Velveteen Dream. I explained that earlier. I think the story and everything makes sense for the most part. Also gets Velveteen Dream WrestleMania spots, so I think that's what you do there. Undertaker, Aleister Black. I think that just works. As for a match with the Undertaker, Aleister Black just clicks. Aleister Black's a good matchup, so I think that'd be sick to see. Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. I think that makes sense. It gives both guys something to do that isn't a World Championship match, so I think that's really good. Then Randy Orton and Edge, self-explanatory. Fiend, Bray Wyatt against John Cena for the Universal Championship, makes sense. Becky Lynch against Shayna Baszler, yeah, enough said. And then Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre, we know the drill. So that's the card. Hopefully you enjoyed. I don't know whether I'll be up later tonight for a SmackDown review. I probably will. Some desperate views, but I don't know. I'll see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, comment, sub. See ya.